American Association of University Women, AAUW, is a leading voice addressing equity and education issues for women and girls. It is a pleasure to have joining us today in the studio Dr. Andresse St. Rose, a senior researcher with AAUW. Good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Talking about issues that involve women and girls is right at the top of my list of important things that need to be done.
Well, so then you should be an AAUW member.
I don't see why not. And you guys have 170,000 members, 1,000 local branches, 800 plus college and university partners. This organization is no joke. Talk to me about the work you do.
Absolutely. So AAUW has been around for more than 130 years. So we've been in this, field for a long time. And like you said, we have members all across the country, branches all across the country, including right here in Maryland, Virginia, and the DC area. Our work really focuses on issues affecting women and girls in education and the workplace specifically. And we do that through our research and advocacy, our programming. So we deliver workshops and trainings on college campuses. We have a conference for college students right here at the University of Maryland. That's where we host it. And we also provide millions of dollars every year for women pursuing their graduate education.
The organization was founded in 1881, and it seems so long ago, 1881, and it seems like I keep wondering what were our lives like back then versus now. I mean, now we're professional and we can be on our own, and there are laws to protect us. But back then, did we even have the right to vote?
No, we didn't have the right to vote. And actually, the reason that AAUW was founded was because there was a belief that if women went to college, if they got a higher education, it had an adverse effect on their reproductive health, so that they couldn't have children. And so that was a myth. That was a popular myth at the time.
Oh my goodness.
And so AAUW was founded by a couple of women who said, we need research to really make sure people understand that this is not true and that we can provide evidence that this is not true. And so that was our first research report, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We still have the copy back in the office.
I bet you do. See how far we've come.
Yes, we have.
Let's talk about, because I've had people on the show to talk about the importance of having girls in STEM, but I think we need to look beyond that. It's great to have girls in STEM, and quite frankly, they need to be sort of enmeshed in it from the very beginning.
Sure.
But we need them to continue to have that interest as they go to college, as they decide what they want to pursue as a career. And I want to make sure that they have the support system in place that they
absolutely.
need.
So all our research looks at, girls and women in STEM. So we do look at that life course pathway. What happens early on, what happens in high school, and then what happens in college. And actually, this always surprises people when I go out and do presentations and talks. The truth is, in high school, girls and boys take about the same number of science and math credits, and they take the same kinds of classes. So biology, chemistry, they're equally likely to take calculus. And the truth is, girls actually get slightly higher grades than boys do in math and science. But what we see is in that transition to college, boys are far more likely to say they're going to declare a STEM major, especially when we look at fields like engineering and computer science.
Why is that?
So what we've seen in our research is that really girls get to college, and number one, sometimes the climate, so the environment in some of those STEM departments just really isn't welcoming. Girls might declare a STEM major, they go in their first year, and I was a STEM major in college, and I remember hearing this in one of my chemistry courses, look to your right, look to your left. By spring break, two of you, I'm going to be here, or something like that. And the truth is, so this was a long time ago, the truth is that speech still happens. So instead of, students coming in their first year of college and faculty really saying, we are happy you're here, we want you to be successful, and nurturing that interest. Instead, there's this weed out culture and this idea that only the strong will survive. Right. And so it becomes this very bizarre culture that, quite frankly, for a lot of college women who have lots of options, they're good at a lot of things, they go, you know what, I can go be maybe a Spanish major and not put up with this kind of attitude. So we really need to be clear about the kinds of messages we send at that stage.
And we're talking about at the college level.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there needs to be a conversation with these teachers and with people in certain disciplines across the United States about the role they are playing in turning females off to a STEM education and a lifetime in the STEM disciplines.
Absolutely, faculty play a huge role in this. And I've spoken to faculty who understand this, and they do their best. They will create a great environment. They'll hold social events so that students get to know faculty outside of class. They will actively go and recruit high school students, including girls. But they're frustrated that not all of their colleagues do this, you know, and they still get that speech. So we just need to, and that's a small change. Not doing that doesn't cost any money. Exactly, right? So, you know, people often think, oh, well, we don't have the money or the time. It takes no money. It takes very little time to really just readjust your thinking.
But see, you have to want to readjust your thinking.
Exactly.
And sometimes that is harder to do than throwing some money at it or whatever.
Exactly.
Let's talk about something that has been important to me as we look and see that these four-year universities are just becoming, quite frankly, we can't afford them. And people want to get an education. They want to eventually to have the opportunity to matriculate into a four-year college, but sometimes you do have to start at the junior college level, at the community college level, I should say. And 4 million women are in that system.
Absolutely. So more women attend community colleges at the undergraduate level than any other sector. So than, you know, compared to the four-year private or the four-year public. So if you want to talk about women in higher education, which again is AAUW's bread and butter, you have to be talking about women in community colleges. And affordability is a huge reason why so many women and actually men go there. So a year of community college on average costs about $3,000 compared to about $30,000 for a four-year private. And of course, some four-year privates are $40,000, $50,000, $60,000. So the affordability is bar none. And also the convenience. Many students aren't just, don't have the ability to just be a student.
Right.
They have jobs they need to stay close to. They have family. They're taking care of children. They might be taking care of older parents or relatives. So being able to stay close to home and still pursue your education is really important to them. And community colleges offer a great option for that.
Yeah, and the times that you can go is
flexibility,
very convenient. Yes.
In terms of part-time study. And what we know too is that for a lot of women at community colleges, so there are 4 million women, but a lot of those women, about, you know, slightly over 1 million, are mothers. They're student mothers. They have young children who they need to take care of.
That's right.
And childcare is one of the really critical support systems they need.
Yes.
So unfortunately, many of our community colleges don't have on-campus childcare. So if you're a student mother and you have a young child or young children, you have to figure out your childcare, you have to drop kids off, pick them up, and that can really get in the way of getting to class on time, getting to class regularly if your child is sick. And then if you have a late class, because we know lots of people have to juggle, again, jobs and class, you know, you have your child off somewhere else. So having that on-campus childcare is really a huge convenience and support system, and it's usually a little more affordable than off-campus childcare, which can cost as much as like a four-year university education, if you can believe that.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I remember when my mother was getting her master's degree at Texas Southern University, she brought me and my sister up there with her, and we understood that we had to be quiet or she would whip us. I was the rambunctious one who would run up and down the hall, but we were there with my mom as she got her master's degree in art. You know, we had to go up there with her. She didn't have any place to, you know, she didn't want to give us to anybody to have them keep us while she was, you know, getting her education. So this is very important. The work your organization is doing. Tell us how we can get in touch with you and how we can become members.
Sure. So if you want more information, please go to our website, aauw.org. There you can learn about our research. You can download our research reports, sign up for our action alerts, learn about our fellowships and grants, and of course, find a branch in your area that you can join and become a part of our community.
Dr. Andresse Rose, thank you so much for talking to us about AAUW and the work that the American Association of University Women does. Thank you. Keep it up. We need the girls and women out there. We need you. We're 51% of the population.
We plan to keep it up, going for another 130 years.
All right. I know that's right. High five on that.
There you go.
I like it. All right. Thank you so much.